thank you very much for joining us. How are you doing?
Hi, thanks for hosting me. I'm fine. Thank you for that.
Yeah, where are you joining us today?
I'm actually currently in the training center in Albertville, where we mostly spend our summer here doing physical training and sweating a lot. So I'm just in between session, I guess.
Yeah, very good. Nice to have a little break then.
Yeah, exactly. Enjoying it.
Well, let's start by taking you right back to the very start. And how did you get into alpine skiing growing up in France?
Well, I come from family really into skiing. My mother was in French ski team, and my father was working in the ski industry for Dynastar. So I just like basically when I was able to walk, I started to ski, and that was actually the things we do as children in the mountain. Like you go with your friends skiing on the Wednesday and on the weekends and everything. And I've started competitions. I was pretty good at it, so obviously I liked that, and so it helped me keep going. And well, then I've studied into. I was how can we say it? I was into the sports school, so I get into that, and then I was competing and doing great. So well, one step led to another, and I got into the French ski team, and then doing my first international skiing in races, and then well, here I am.
Yeah, so you mentioned there your parents' involvement in ski racing even before you got into it yourself. So did they have it set out for you to go down this path and one day race at the highest level?
Well, I think obviously I went into ski sports with thanks to them. But I mean, they knew what it's being high level sports and being an athlete meant. So they just wanted me to be great, I guess. And they always supported me, but in a great way. Like every, they were there and they were always here for the races, and they were always supporting me and happy whatever I do, and they try to cheer me up when I have bad results and everything, but they are just like supportive and not just pushing me on some way or another. So it's really great.
So when you was growing up, did you have any doubts at all any time that it was the thing for you and you would definitely make it?
Uh, I'd say we always have doubts, like, and I have doubted myself. Like it's actually the thing I'm working on, but I was always trying to have a plan B. Like if the plan A was not working, then I will have a plan B. And that's actually the most important thing to me. And I was still studying while I was skiing. So it helped me like to know that if it went wrong in some way, then I have an option. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
so I
yeah.
think it helped me to not have any doubts about that.
Yeah, so, and I suppose having that option, you also could relax more and not feel it was a necessity to become what you would like to become. You
Exactly.
still had you had an alternative.
Takes a bit of the pressure off.
Exactly.
Yeah,
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 it's take a bit of pressure.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, coming to the present day now, looking back at 2023-24 and your season, I believe the best season of your career. How are you impressed with the results, or was this something that you had been waiting a few years for?
It's been something that I've been waiting for a long time. I was kind of on a good slope, and then I got sick 3 years ago, 4 years ago now, And afterwards, it's been tough to come back to competitions. I was actually really good at training and always really fast, no matter with which team I was training with. I was always into the top front, but for some reason, I guess I couldn't do it in competition. So it's been like 2 years really tough for me, and I was before this season, I was wondering if I should just quit skiing and just do my plan B, because it was actually getting really, really tough. And I was actually also getting a bit older. So I was like, I'm doing, I'm putting a lot of work into it, and it's not working, and that's fine. Maybe I'm just going, it's the end of the thing, and that's okay. It was also for me. But the change a bit of this, the staff and the coaches, my ski men, a lot of change the way I'm training, and I've started to work with the psychological, and it helped me a lot. And then we started the season with Solden, and Solden is really a tough race for me. Like it's really always stressful, a stressful moment and everything. And then it went actually really great. I got lucky a lot, because I went into the second run thanks to disqualification of Ragnhild. But then I took my chances, and then everything went from that moment went great. And then in Mont Tremblant, I went from the bib 49 to the 10th position for the first race, and then from the bib 29 to the 4th place. And it was actually really relieving when I crossed the finish line. I was like, okay, I've made the best decision I could, and it's like all the pressure I've held on for the last 3 years, I guess, just went down. And I was like, okay, now I'm starting to ski and to do something, and let's keep on going this way. And it happened that I made a pretty great season, and I'm really proud for that. And I hope it's going to continue.
Yeah, I was going to say, because of that situation, what you've just explained, in the future, will that be the situation in your mind if you ever have any doubts again? Will you be able to look back on that and say, no, I can do it. I know I can do it.
Hopefully, hopefully. But now, exactly, I know I have some result to rely on, so it's
Yeah.
actually a bit relieving, and I'm just moving forward, knowing that I've done something great, and no matter what happens, this is on me. and and it's like trying new thing, trying to improve myself, but in a way, a much more peaceful way, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And Clara, did you feel that after those results in Mont Tremblant that you could almost keep that momentum going throughout the season? And you obviously didn't want to make this a one-off result, but did you feel confident that you could go and break the top 10 later in the season again?
Well, I mean, skiing is like, it's not because you're winning a race or doing great result, then on the next race you're gonna do great too. It's it's a one shot every time, and on the other way, it's not because you're doing a bad result that you're gonna do a bad result afterwards. So it's just starting to restart every time, and just focusing on one run after one run, and one gate after one gate, and not just and moving this one step another to another. And I think that's what got me through the season, and thinking this way, like going one step at a time. And it's not because I was four that I have to be four every time, and it's not because I'm in the top 10 that I will be in the top 10 every time. It's every time you have to be confident, and just to go all in and see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to look at it. And also, if you take that forward with you, that you must carry on with your positive, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. And there's always some good parts to take into when you have a bad result, but there's also bad parts to take when you have a good result. Like there's always something to work on. And okay, like when I was fourth in Mont Tremblant, I crossed the finish line. I was happy. I was just feeling the moment. And 2 or 3 days later, we did a brief with my coach and say, okay, this went right and this went wrong. So we're going to focus on what went wrong and how to improve yourself for the better path. But this you have achieved it. And now we are going to focus on the next race and then move on to the next race and eventually to the end of the season this way.
Go on.
Are you very self-critical?
I think, yeah, too much. it's never enough. And
that's what I was thinking listening.
it's never enough because I know that I'm pushing myself, but the other behind me or in front of me are pushing themselves. So I can't be late, so I have to move also. But well, sometimes it's a bit too much, and hopefully I have my coaches to say, okay, Clara, you did great, and that's fine. Take it and just enjoy it for a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking back at last season again, before those first races of the season in Solden and of course in Mont Tremblant, did you goal set that you could? Was there a belief that you could qualify for the World Cup GS finals in Saalbach, which you did? Was that something you had set out, or did it become more realistic when the results started coming through?
I think at that time during the summer, I was just trying to do something different from the past few years because I've been doing some stuff that didn't work. So I was trying to work another way. And it helped me to didn't set any goals like being into the top 30 or being into the top 15, whatever, because it puts some pressure on yourself. And I think that just thinking about how you ski, how you want to improve yourself, what can you do in your on your skis, on your materials, on physical training and everything, and on your mind especially. That was the goal, the main goal of the season, just to be able to start and to push out of the gate and just know that everything has been done the way I want it to be done, and that I could do everything, and that I was not alone in the start gate. And that was the main goal. But I was not aiming for a top 30 in Solden or a top 25 at the end of the season for the finals or everything. I was just, yeah, as I said earlier, just going through each day, no matter how it happens, and then see how it goes.
Mm. Cool. So looking ahead to next season, if you're not setting goals, this isn't a very good question. But what are you hoping to achieve?
Well, obviously, I know that I can be great. I'm not setting any goals, but I always have something in mind. Like I want to win a World Cup or to be on the podium somehow. But I just want to focus on what I'm doing, and we have a lot of work to do on the skis. I have some technical things to work on, and some physical skill also to be good at. So we're just working this way and trying to keep on working this way, trying to see what's good for me, and that way you'll learn a lot about yourself too. So that's really interesting. That's an interesting way of working, I would say.
What impressed me with something you said earlier about you're not, when you go out to ski, you're not thinking, I've got to get that fourth position again, because you've done it already. The good thing is that you're in the moment rather than thinking about what you've done and what you have to do. And that is important, surely.
Yeah, that's something I've been working on for a long time. And that's actually funny because in Mont Tremblant, the last day, before the last run of the last day, my serviceman said to me, I was 12 after the first run, and my serviceman just right before the start said, okay, you've been 12, you've done the work, just have fun right now. And that really got me into okay, everything has been done and you just have to enjoy it. And then I push out of the start gate. I felt my ski underneath me, and I was like, okay, it's good to ski, let's have some fun. And that's what I was trying to keep in mind every time. Of course, every day is different, and sometimes you're not feeling great, and sometimes it's not good at the start, and you're feeling overwhelming with some questions and everything. But at the end, I'm just trying to focus and say, okay, I know I can do that. I don't care about the other. They know how to do that also, but I know that I can do that, and I will try my best to do what I can, and the other will try their best to do what they can, and we'll see at the end the results. And that's actually the thing I'm working on.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Do you feel that when the results weren't as good, they obviously have been the very best they have been this season, that you were thinking about what position you were going to be and sort of maybe not enjoying yourself as much, but now that there is potentially less pressure, you're finding the results and finding the fun in it again?
Of course. The last 2 seasons before, I was really looking for a result, just something to hold on to, and just something to tell me that just grab this thing and you'll see it's fine. But I was always looking for that thing. And last season it was just like, I'm having it, just it's always some bonus. It's always some bonus runs that just have fun, and I really had some fun last year. So that helped a lot also.
Yeah. I can't quite believe it's taken 17 minutes to mention, but let me take you back to Sestriere in January 2020. Just before we came on recording, I was watching back the runs, and the day before you qualified as the last qualifier that would be there in the parallel race, the day after, and were drawn against Mikaela Shiffrin. So surely you didn't have a thought in your mind that you could go and win the race, which you did.
No, not at all. Like at this time, I was mostly focusing on GS, and
Yeah.
I was actually doing some great results. I was great in Killington, and I was also great in Sestriere the day before in GS. I was, I think, 13 or 16 or something, and the last qualified. And I was actually really proud of myself. It was like, okay, I have some points, and I'm doing everything. And tomorrow is going to be some parallel. No one knows what to expect in GS in parallel. There were no good people. We don't know who was great in giant in parallel or what. So everything has to be taken. So I just went down, and we had like these 2 first run qualifier at the first, and I broke my hand on the second run. So I had like those 3 first fingers that were broken, and I was like, okay, there's nothing to lose anymore. I will do it what I can, because I couldn't push out of the start gate really well. So it was like, just ski great, and we'll see. There's nothing to lose, actually, just having fun. So I went through the first runs, and then I got against Mikaela Shiffrin, and obviously I would say I'm gonna lose anyway. So so just try to enjoy skiing beside her, and I got a bit lucky. I think I had the blue or red coat, I don't know, but the fastest one. And it was at that time when we only did 1 run. So I think I got a bit lucky with that too. So, well, I passed and she didn't. And I was actually, okay, maybe I can do a podium right now. So I was like, okay, let's do one more run. And I went back and was like, oh, I'm on the podium right now. So so let's see if I can do first place. And that's how it goes. Well, that was really fun to do. Parallel is always really fun because you're skiing beside someone and your mind just gets into it like really quick. You want to beat that girl, and it's just messing with your thoughts and everything. But it's really fun to ski.
Yeah, we were just saying before you came on that a lot of people say that they don't like parallel because you want to be focusing on yourself rather than maybe having a glance over at what your opponent's doing. But I don't know, they seem to have disappeared from the sport. But would you like to bring them back?
Parallel is always a tricky thing. In ski, you cannot set two completely equal run. So there will
Yeah.
always be one fastest and one slower. But it's actually really fun to do. And I think it's more like a show or something, more like it should be a show. Because if you want to race, that's fine, and then you race, you'll have fun, but it doesn't have to count for everything, like for an overall or a discipline somehow. Just a show, and it's really telegenic. Like it's really fun to watch on the TV. Can you hear me? And it's really fun to watch on the TV.
Yeah. It's
you like it, don't
I
you?
love them. Yeah.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
It
There's
will be
not
on the
been enough
Olympics.
of it.
Yeah, they are trying to put it, and then the athletes say it's too dangerous and it's taking so much time for the other discipline. And then, well, it's going to be a team event in the Olympics, and well, it's actually in the Olympics and the World Championships too. But it's nice to ski.
No.
Yeah.
Very good. I'm going to move on to the summer preparation. You're joining us from the Alpine Centre. So, what actually happens in there at this time of the year?
What actually happens is that we spend a lot of time, too much, in the weightlifting, and running around and doing things. I love the climbing and also alpinism, so I'm spending a lot of time in the mountain that period. So I'm just trying to split my time in between the training center and the mountains, and to split my time between the training center where I'm lifting weights and doing some crappy stuff, and then the mountain, just to relax my mind sometimes.
Yeah, very good. So I have noticed that you started a lot races in almost all the disciplines in Europa Cup competition, but you've only started 2 World Cup slaloms. So is it something you're trying to incorporate into your skiing, or is the sole focus on getting that GS as good as possible?
Well, slalom, I've loved slalom, but it doesn't love me. So it's kind of I'm done with this relationship, and I'm done with slalom. It's taking so much time. Slalom is really difficult. You have to put some work into it, and I was struggling for the past few years. So I was focusing on my GS. So I have so much point in slalom. I have to race Europe back up again, and then to lower my points, and then everything. And it's really demanding, and I don't have the energy to put into that. And I'm not sure if I can be competitive in slalom, because taking the top 30 would be nice, but if I'm doing a discipline, then I would want to be in the front in the top 10, and I'm not able to be in the top 10 in slalom. So that's something we've decided to just let go of it, because I'm mostly at the end of my career more than at the beginning. So we will be focusing now on the Super G, and I will be racing some World Cup in Super G this year, and just to do something else than GS, because during the season, well, doing only GS is pretty tough because you only have 10 or 11 races, and there are a lot of time off, and just to fill that time with something else and doing some Super G. I'm not aiming to do something really great in Super G, but I'm quite sure it's gonna help my GS skills. So, and just to do something else also in training, to keep your mind off something, and sometimes to train with less pressure also feels great.
It's funny actually, because I'm sure you can read my mind, because my next question was going to be, have you any thoughts of doing the speed events?
Yeah.
And you more or less answered that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think GS is more similar to Super G than it is to slalom. Yeah. And if you are a great GS skier, I think you can do great things. I'm not talking about winning or something, but doing great things in Super G once you get used to the speed and the slopes and everything. Downhill is a bit a part of that. I will have to race some downhill too, but mostly it's going to be Super G and GS and then Super G.
Yeah, thank you.
So next season is, of course, a World Championship year as well. I think we've spoken to a few people who have said that it's important not to let that take the main focus away from the World Cup, because it's much more important to stay consistent there. But is there something special? Do you feel something different going into a World Championship year?
This kind of races, Super G or the Olympics, are really different things. Like, you must not take your focus off the main circuit, the main World Cup, because there's always some great things to take in the World Cup. So it's the way I see it, it's really two different things. It's a stop into the season, the World Championships or the Olympics, whatever. It's a stop in the season. It doesn't come for anything. You just skip for this moment, for this event, and it doesn't matter if you're great or bad. Like, the rest of the season, you don't have to do it. I'm not sure I'm really clear on that subject, but it's like just one race, one shot, you give it all, and you'll see. Of course, I want to be great, and I will be prepared to, because I can do great things, and obviously on this kind of race, being an outsider is always a great thing, because you don't have that pressure that the top athletes have, and you're just like here, and the top athletes can just collapse on the pressure, and so there's always strange things happening in these races, so you have to take your chances. But there's also the main circuit on the other side, so you don't prepare for the World Championship, you prepare for the season, and then you'll go to the World Championships.
Yeah. It is something that you've already mentioned about your age, that you're closer to the end of your career than the start, but there are still a number of female skiers that are older than you, and I feel there is almost I don't know, an assumption that a female skier has to retire at 33. Do you feel that this is the case? Because we've seen someone like your compatriot Johan Clara go and score podiums until he's 42.
Well, I think women and men are really different at this point. Like, women wants to have a family at some point, and I think that's what's make the decision to quit or to continue. For for myself, it's like it's really tiring and on the body and everything. And when everything goes right, then it's easy to do. But if you started to have some bad result and you're just doing it like without pleasure, I would say, I think it's that time you have to let go of it and do something else. I have a plan B, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm actually really excited to start it also. And I will be competing at least until the Olympics, I guess. But then we'll see, because something else is waiting for me that also excites me. So we'll see how it goes. But for now, I'm just seeing one season after one season. But I know that maybe after the Olympics, it's going to be tough to remotivate myself and to do something else.
What is that something else?
I'm a pilot. I'm a plane pilot.
Oh, wow.
So wow. I will be flying planes.
So you'll be doing the speed event.
Exactly.
Very good. That quite a transition, that ski racer to pilot.
Wow.
Very interesting. Are you glad that you decided to stick with the sport rather than retiring when you had those doubts and when the results weren't there?
Yes, I'm really glad, because I've learned a lot from myself, and I've learned a lot of things, and I've had so much fun this year that I don't regret any of that decision to keep going.
Very good. Very good.
Lovely.
Yeah. I'd like to touch on the French team, because you've got some very good races, but you've also got some very big shoes to fill after Tessa Worley's retirement. Do you feel that you are filling the shoes?
I will never be filling the shoes of Tessa, because Tessa is Tessa. She's a double world champion. She has won the GS World Cup for 2 times, so I will never fill her shoes. She will always be better than me, for sure. But I spent, I think, 7 or 8 years training with her, and I've learned a lot from her. She was always so generous, giving you some advices, and it was always nice to train with her, because she was always at 100%. So you could always see if you were fast, and knowing that you were skiing great, because she was always doing her best to everything. But I think the fact that she retires helped me also to focus a bit more on myself and not to focus on her. I mean, I was on myself. I was all alone during the season, and every schedule was made for my good. And I was deciding everything, and I was doing the thing that were best for me. And I think that was also a deciding point for my last season. And I think the fact that she retires helped me also a bit, not being always on her shadow or something, and just being able to be myself and to do what I can do.
Yeah. So now you've sort of taken over in a way the mantle.
The number one.
Are you thinking maybe you need to show younger skiers that it is possible to get where you've got following Tessa, and they might inspire them to actually think, yeah, we'll try and get like you?
Yeah, exactly. And I have a team of young girls that I really, really appreciate. Like the slalom girls are really nice. They are really young. And we're not doing the same discipline, and obviously they're better than me in slalom that I couldn't be. And I'm trying just to be there if they have any questions or something. I don't want to to how can I say, to be the Tesla of these girls. I don't want to take all the power. I don't want to take all the energy of the staff. I don't want to take all of that for her. But I will not be the girls who say, oh, you have to do that. If they want to see how I'm working and do the same, that's fine for me. If they want any advice, I will be glad to give them, but it's not my job to go to her and to say, you have to do this way. And I hope I can be a great leader, but I don't want to have that stick on me. I'm skiing, and I have people who are helping me, my coach and my serviceman who are helping me. And if they want to train with me, it's completely fine. If they want to do something like me, it's completely fine. And I will be really glad to be like sort of an inspiration, but I don't want to take too much energy. I want them to have the same thing that I have for themselves.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Because obviously you look at it the right way. You're looking at it. You'll help them, but you're not going to push them in. It's so they'll choose their own pathway.
Exactly. Because
but in the end, they will thank you for being the way you've been.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see about that.
Yeah,
the future will tell us. But I mean, we were all working a different way, and people were always like, when I was younger, the coaches were like, look at her, the way she's working, you have to do the same. If you want to be the best, you have to do like that. But it's not working this way. You have to work the way you feel it, but for that you have to have some experience. But it's not because you're doing exactly the same thing as the best of the world that you will become the best of the world, because the way she's working may not suit you. You may want to do different things. So and I believe that the young girls I'm training with all others the way of training, and I encourage them to train the way they want to do.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
So do you feel that these younger racers coming through are going to keep alpine skiing in France in good shape?
I think they have a really good dynamic in slalom right now. In GS, it's going to take a bit more time, I guess, but it will come eventually. But in slalom, we have seen this year that there were always a girl into the top 30, and if it was not one, it was another one, and everything. So, and they work really well as a group. They all have a good dynamic, and they are all friends, but really good friends. So they are all pushing themselves to the top, and it works really well. And obviously, they have some qualities. So I think it's gonna, maybe not this year, maybe it's gonna take a bit of time. They'll need some experience too, but I think they are gonna make super good skier.
Good.
You mentioned right at the very start of the conversation that your father was involved with Dynastar. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
And have you skied on them your whole life because of your dad's involvement?
Yeah, exactly. So obviously, when I was young, I had some Dynastar skis because it was easy to get them. And then when I started the ski competitions, then I stayed on Dynastar. And then I didn't change. And the good thing is that it's a French brand, so we have a really good contact with the brand, and it makes it easy to develop some skis and to work with the people in the brand. So I won't change actually. The skis are working really well, and I know the skis, and I have some good relationship with them. So it's something I won't change.
Yeah, you've got the lifetime contract signed.
Exactly.
Yeah. Have you got any more questions?
No, right.
We will then move to the quick fire questions to finish off with, and we'll start with your favorite place to ski.
My favorite place to ski, I would say it's in the Dolomites in Italy. Like it's good food, which is really important. It's
Yeah.
it's always good training because everyone there is wants you to have a good training. So the slopes are really well prepared. The landscapes are amazing, really, and if you want to free ski, it's amazing. So I would say the Dolomites.
And you won a World Cup there.
And I want no, it was not in the Dolomites. It was in the in the border of
Sorry.
sorry.
The best moment of your career?
I would say my best moment would be when I crossed the finish line the first day in Mont Tremblant when I was 10. I ended up 10. I would say it's my best moment because that feeling of all this pressure going off was so relieving and it was so exciting. My family was there, and the people, the Canadian people, were so cheerful and were cheering on me all the weekend. But that first day was relieving, I guess.
Very good. Next one. Who is your best friend in alpine skiing?
My best friend in alpine skiing. Oh, I don't really know. I'm really getting along with Federica Brignan. So we have really great relationship with her. And in the ski team, I would say Marie Lamure and Chiara Pogno, but also all the young girls, like they were all really, really, really nice to me. So I would say all the group, the technical group.
And if we were to speak to you after we'll say after the Olympics, what would you like to have achieved?
That's a tricky question. Of course, I see myself with a lot of medals around my neck and all happy and everything. Mostly, I would say to not regret anything. Like to just we won't be. I won't be actually a legend. I won't be Mikaela Shiffrin. I won't be Tessa Worley. It's over me. It's past. It's done. Whatever. But I can do great. I can do great things too, and I wish to have a career that I can be proud of. Actually, that's what we can wish me, I guess.
That's very good.
That's good.
Next question. What inspired you to start ski racing?
I don't know if something inspired me to start ski racing. I just fell into it and I happened to love that sport. But maybe if I had lived in Hawaii and started to surf, maybe I would have loved to surf and something really, like I'm passionate about sports and all kind of sports, and it just happened that I love skiing and I was good at it, so that's what got me into it, I guess.
Yeah. That is all of the quickfire questions. Thank you very much. I haven't told you about this, but I have got a final message, and we started to, well, a long time ago we started to run saying something or asking a question in the language of the guest.
Okay.
So my message for you is in French.
Hi.
Hopefully.
Okay. Go for it.
Let's go for it. Merci beaucoup pour ces excellentes conversations. Merci d'être venu et bonne chance pour l'entraînement d'été.
Oh, that's really great. That's really great. Thank you. Just be careful when you say beaucoup. It's like really beaucoup and not beaucoup. Otherwise, it means great house.
That's the one you've been waiting for, isn't it? He's been trying to find He's been trying to find something that I've said wrong to laugh at for about 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
But that was really nice.
Well
Yeah.
done. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
I'm actually going to France later in the summer, so
Oh,
I'll be careful with that
yeah, be
pronunciation.
careful. Nice.
Yeah, good.
All right. Well, that is all the questions. Thank you very much for your time, Clara, and all
Thank
the
you.
very best going
Thank
into
you
next
very
season.
much. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you very much for hosting me.
All the very best, yeah. And good luck
Thank you.
next year. Next
Thank
season.
you very much. Thank
You're
you. Have a
welcome.
good day.
Yeah, you as well.
You too.